What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Cortney, and we're back with episode 5 of Coffee with Cortney. Today's topic is Pushin P. Of course, it's not what you think, but y'all know how I am with my titles. So today, y'all, we are going to talk about pushing past the past because it's just a necessary topic. And today we're going to unpack this thing and we're going to talk about it. So I got some really, really, really special people in the studio with me today. And I'm going to give them a chance to introduce themselves. And then I need y'all to go ahead and get y'all mugs and we're going to get right into it. So, Miss Sam, my sister is here. Tell us about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Well, my name is Samantha Tyus, and I have a motivational speaking platform called SamSays. And that basically transpired from just my experiences with domestic violence and me overcoming narcissist abuse.
Girl, that's an episode in itself. We're going to have to come back.
We don't have enough coffee to sip, baby.
We're going to have to come back.
Yes.
I done been there and done that.
Okay, yes. And so it really, I took something that was meant to destroy me. And from that onset, I just began to speak life. And then I watched the manifestation and the growth. And so what I realized in that experience is that so many people go through it.
Yes.
And they are embarrassed.
Yeah.
They don't say nothing. They suffer in silence. So I wanted to be to others what I needed. But, of course, I didn't want to just stop it and make it all domestic violence based because men need something too, right? Because we have a man here with us. So we can all enrich and strengthen one another beyond that stifling moment that was supposed to traumatize us.
That's so true. That is so true.
So,
well, welcome, Sam. I'm so glad you're here with me. So glad you're here. All right, Vlad.
Yep, my name is Vlad. I'm an engineer at the studio that Courtney's recording at right now. So that's pretty much,
shout out to Bravo.
I mean, hey, we might as well.
We might as well.
That's my life.
Like I'm already here. So.
Yeah, music is my life. It's been my life for most of my life. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do all day, every day. And I produce and do other things as well. But most of my life has been so far has just been engineering and just recording music. So that's me so far. And I'm pretty relaxed, chill. I don't do too much. Yeah, I got to be. I got to be.
That's dope.
Life is a little crazy out here, so I try to just stay out the way and, just live a real simple life. So that's it.
For sure.
I love it.
Well, I thank you guys so much for having this conversation with me. And y'all, this is actually, to be quite transparent and honest, like I subbed this episode, and the timing of it could not have been more perfect.
Wow.
Because I recently had an experience, like when I say recently, I mean in the past 48 hours, that was a blast from my past.
Wow.
And, I just feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had because in today's time, when you have good things going for yourself and you're trying to go after your dreams and your goals and you're on a getting your footing on the ground and you're going in the right direction, honey, that devil will come back from that past. And I mean, he will try to suffocate you.
Yes.
And so this thing that I had from my past, y'all, when I tell y'all, it was literally as if, y'all see how we're sitting in this room, it's literally as if the devil himself was sitting right there and just regurgitating things to me that happened way back when. I mean, just spitting it at me.
I know
and
that
so
feeling.
as I was reading, because it was over a series of text messages, as I was reading it, y'all, here's the great part, in which we'll get into how you get to a place of maturity and growth later. But the good thing about it was I did realize that I have grown a great deal, because where the old me.
Yeah. Oh, come on, somebody. Don't get me started. Oh, my God.
Y'all can't see my face, but I had to pause for a minute because the old me.
You saw your mugshot that fast.
That fast.
I know it.
I'm talking about bop.
Right,
like, I'm pulling up. I don't talk.
Put it on my books.
I don't talk. I don't talk. I don't talk. Y'all know me. I be saying I'm Peter's niece all the time.
Right.
I say that for a reason.
Right.
Because I just don't talk. I don't believe in that. But, the growth was reading that and realizing in that instant, this is the devil.
Yes.
This is the enemy that's mad because I'm growing. I'm doing good. I'm not out here minding nobody else's business but mine.
That's right.
But the enemy will definitely come along and try to remind you of all the things that you are no longer.
That's right.
The demons that you've already conquered, the issues that you've already faced and you've already overcome.
Absolutely.
The places that the Lord has already brought you
Come
out
on.
of.
Come
and
on.
You're not in that place no more.
Come
But he
on.
will try to remind you.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will try to remind you.
And so I wanted to talk about, how do you get past the past?
Yeah. The thing about it is, the past is a past for a reason, and they call the present a reason, because it is a gift, right?
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
gift that you're no longer in the place that you were. And so for me, I can honestly say that the past is important because it's a constant reminder. It keeps
Yes.
you humble.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So in retrospect, do you ever really get past it? Not necessarily, because it's there for a reason, right? But you don't have to be governed by it.
Yes.
You don't have to let it be the ruler of your life. You don't have to let it dictate how you move now, dictate how you treat people now.
Right.
And so with my personal experience, lot of trauma, lots of things that I suppressed.
Yes.
Because, as church folk, we pray it away.
Let's unpack it, because let's talk about that right
We
there.
pray it away. Like, you get on the altar, you wipe your nose, and by the time you go back to your seat, it's over. Or is it?
Or
know what
is it?
Or is it?
Because when I walked out that door, it was
Come
right
on.
there waiting on me.
It was right there. It's right there. And it's there in the moments when my pastor is not there. It's there in the moments where I can't pick up the phone and call nobody. When I'm in the bed, 2 a.m., and these thoughts are bombarding me. It's in my dreams. It's in, the people that identify you by that circumstance.
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
listen.
Yeah, that's big.
You can't even, I done changed my last name. You
Mm-hmm.
you can't call me that no more. Like,
Right.
but so it's always there as a reminder. But here's the gag. You can stay there all you want.
The gag is,
I ain't there no more.
I'm
I'm not there no more.
I'm not there.
I'm not there. So, like I shared in the beginning, just the things that I went through. So, a little bit about me. It started like when I was 17 years old. I had my first real relationship. I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana. Shout out to the NOLA. Love my city. 504 girl to the core, okay?
Yes.
But the thing about it, to be honest with you, New Orleans is a melting pot, which means that a lot of people come from a different backgrounds, a culmination. And so it's a primarily Creole city, and colorism is huge.
Wow.
Huge. And me being a brown-skinned chick, I wasn't getting a whole lot of play. If you wasn't light-skinned with long hair, you can hang it up.
Wow.
And so I grew up with that insecurity of being the darker-skinned person, not only just in my family, but in most settings that I was in. I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel loved as, a teenager growing up, battling with that insecurity. And so when I got the slightest attention from a very handsome young man, I was so absorbed and consumed with the fact that he would actually want to be with me.
Wow.
That I took so much. And he had his own, now that I know in retrospect, mommy issues, rejection issues. He lived with his aunt, and his mom and dad both were alive and well.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a displacement of anger and frustration. And then his aunt treated him like a nephew. So if I'm living with you, if your mother, she gonna make sure you got the best of the best, and you got it all the time. Auntie kind of more like, I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna maintain you, but on a minimum.
Right.
And so
I'm gonna give you what you need.
Absolutely.
Just give you what you need.
Roof over your head, buy you some Prestos, some Oxfords, and we calling it a
Right.
day. Well, when you're a teenager, you want the best of the best.
Yeah.
You want to, and so he battled all these insecurities, these rejection issues, this, and the other, and eventually he became violent.
Wow.
So now this is my first experience with domestic violence. This person that just was so invested in me and loved me and made me feel beautiful when I was battling my own insecurities.
This your first relationship?
First real relationship when I was like a junior going into my senior year in high school. And I remember just, a whole lot of fast forward. Like all of these things happen. Of course, now I'm doing things. I'm sexually active.
Yeah.
Then I pop up pregnant. And he hit me while I was pregnant. And that was my determining factor to say, I want to abort the pregnancy. And so I did that, so I have to live with that condemnation, which I was easily freed from, because then I thought, like, at 18 years of this Negro, like I'm not finna.
Like,
I'm
who?
not finna. Okay.
Well, it's also your body too, and
There you go.
Then at the time and what was going on,
Absolutely.
no one can hold that over your head if they're not going through that.
Then absolutely they couldn't. But again, I'm growing up. I'm Little Miss Church. You understand what I'm saying?
Southern background.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
Like,
nobody. And then I'm in, right in that point is when I was transitioning from a Baptist church to a holiness ministry. And the pastor there was preaching hella high water, fire and brimstone.
I'm talking about hell.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm crying and snotting every Sunday at this point. But, I'm pushing through that. And Hurricane Katrina happens. Really, Katrina means cleansing.
Wow.
So that was the time for me to cleanse myself of all of this. But it kind of lingered and stuck with me. And once I was able to free myself, it turned into all of the, the harassing phone calls, the following you, the love bombing, showing up in places where you're not supposed to be. Right. Or once we're, quote unquote, broken up, you're reaching out to the people that I'm talking to now and scaring them off because don't nobody want to deal with that drama, this, that, and the other, right? So, and mind you, we're in the same church. So most of the people that I'm meeting and connected with are from the church. So you're running off all of these people. They're seeing my pastor is literally seeing me harassed. My pastor literally had to say, listen, leave her alone. Her father may not be here in this city because by this time I'm in Georgia. Her father may not be here, but I'm here. Leave her alone.
That's crazy.
What age were you from when you started dating him to when the harassment was happening?
20.
Oh, that's not a long time at all.
But you have to think, these are my developmental adult years.
Yeah,
17,
absolutely.
18, 19,
Critical.
20.
Yeah.
Critical.
How critical are those years?
Critical years.
This is your college time.
Yeah.
So this is the time where I'm supposed to be out and
living your best life, baby.
Yeah.
But I can't because I'm literally, people don't want to see us coming because they know they're likely going to have to call the police if somebody looks at me too long.
Right.
Oh my
Because
God.
he was that hot-headed. He was a hot-headed person. And I was so blinded by the fact they used to say he looked like Usher. Somewhat. But, I'm wrapped up in the fact, like, he's so attractive and he loves me and he spoils me and he's this, that, and the other. But he got this little problem, but it's okay. It's okay. And so once I finally, my last straw, I was trying to live for God. I decided to be abstinent. And he wanted to be intimate. And it was a Saturday night going into Sunday morning. I was leaving him alone somewhat, but then he needed me. You know how they do. I can't do it without you, this, that, and the other. You know how y'all reel us back in. He reels him back in, and I go over there. I'm helping him move out of his apartment or some mess. He wasn't there. Lo and behold, I fall asleep because I'm tired, and I try to wake up the next morning, and I was awakened to him attempting to be intimate with me. And I was refusing him. Lord, let's not even get into the infidelity. Let's not even get into all of that. Like, that was...
And you got to open that book.
It was something every other day seemed like. Just different women, this, that, and the third. So he tries to be intimate with me. I refuse him. He puts me out of his apartment. When he slams the door, he slams my finger in it and breaks it.
Oh, my God.
The Lord clearly spoke to me that day and said, if you don't leave him now, today is your finger, tomorrow it'll be your neck.
Wow. I believe that because I've had those instances where God told me, you better move now or this.
Or this. And that was it for me. I remember going to the hospital. They had to burn a hole in my finger to relieve the blood, the pressure from it being broken. And I remember making up a lie and telling my mom again. You know what I'm saying? I was always lying about this, lying about that. And so the next relationship that I got into was with a much older individual who had, extenuating past, but was putting on that, my past, I'm church, I'm clean, I'm a new creature, this thing. Yeah. And so I was feeling like, okay, well, this must be it because this is not that.
Right. But that wasn't that either.
That was far from that. Listen, probably the furthest from that.
This wasn't that, but it ain't that either.
We didn't have anything in common. I didn't know myself. I was just really wanting to be rescued.
I wanted consistency. That was episode 4. Make sure y'all go back and listen to episode 4. And where I was really delving into divorce. And one of the things that I highlighted was the fact that I got married for the wrong reason. Because at the time I got married, I didn't even know myself.
Oh, my God. I'm going to fall out the chair.
I didn't even know myself. I got married for the wrong reasons, thinking about, and I put all this pressure on myself. And, it's society and it's all of that. But at the end of the day, it was me against me.
Yes.
I was my own worst enemy.
Yes.
And so I feel you.
Everybody around me was getting married. Nobody wants to keep going to church every Sunday feeling like
Yeah, you're the odd one out.
Yeah, or you're going to die and go to hell tomorrow
You know what I'm
because
saying?
you're fornicating or whatever. We're not. So anyway, we get married. He's almost 12 years my senior. He has 6 kids. Like,
girl, that's a Brady Bunch.
Listen, you know, and you know, good person, perhaps at his core, but past is like most of these kids have different moms and very close birthdays. If that means,
yeah, it makes
it didn't process to me
twins.
Like they hood twins. He had 2
wow,
or 3
not
sets.
the hood twins.
He had 2. Well, I think 2. I think it's like 2 sets of hood twins. That should have told me all I needed to know.
The red flags be there.
They be there. Why do we be so
be
blind?
white girl? Won't be looking.
We be like, oh,
what's that little that meme that's out? I can't see, I'm blind. Just
right,
can't see nothing.
Right, legally blind, and my left eye just slap blind.
P.O.P. hold it down.
But you know, I dedicated 10 years of my life.
Wow.
10 years of my life to this, to more infidelity, to more verbal abuse. Not so much physical. Did it happen periodically? Yes. But it was just more of that never truly being enough.
And so that is what I want to hit. Like, I'm glad you got there because that's the type of stuff that I want to talk about. How do you get past the emotional trauma? How do you get past, I mean, you know, physical trauma is bad. And, you know, thank God, like, I've never been in a position where maybe because people just knew I was crazy. I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
That's what it is. I was too nice.
I don't know. But, you know, but I've been that person. I've been that person. And I was just, you know, fortunate enough, thank God, that I never experienced physical abuse. But emotional abuse has been my life.
Wow.
It's been my life. All the way through adulthood.
And you know, that's worse, to be honest with you. Sometimes you would rather a Negro just slap.
Just go ahead and hit me.
Right.
Because I'm going to hit you back.
Right.
But just go ahead and hit me. Let's just duke this thing out.
We can duke it out and be cool, but you can't forget them words. You can't forget how a person
And so my
feel.
entire life, y'all, no cap, my entire life has been emotional abuse.
Wow.
From people, from church, from, I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
You name it. And I've experienced it. And, you know, I want to talk about how do you get past the emotional scars?
Yeah.
Because the physical scars, depending on how bad it is, they'll fade.
They will. They will.
They'll fade. But those emotional scars, they cut deep.
They do.
I didn't even think about that until you just said that.
They cut so deep,
because a lot of times physical stuff, like the other day I was moving and stuff and I looked at my hand and there was a cut there, but I didn't know it was there. But if somebody says something to me, I'm gonna remember forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's like if it's deep. Yeah. That cut I'll forget about. I know I will.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's something that hurts, you're gonna be like, you know what I mean? It's gonna make you feel a way.
Yeah.
You're gonna think why that person said that and the way they did it. You know, were they going through something to make them get to that point to say something that bad to me?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so that's the point that I'm trying to drive is that, you know, emotional trauma, y'all, it's real. And if you're not very careful, you will become your abusers.
Oh, my God.
You will absolutely become your abuser. And so I'm so thankful to know God, and I'm so thankful to have a relationship with God. And I tell people all the time, I know without a shadow of a doubt that God loves me and he intended for me to do the things that I'm doing right now. Because I should have been dead.
Right.
And he kept me alive for a reason. And I believe he kept me alive so that I could help other people who are silently struggling with, like I did for 30 plus years.
Jeez. And you know, the thing about that is it's ironic that you talk about the silent struggle.
Yeah.
Because that's what the enemy desires for us to do. He desires to shut our mouths for shame, for whatever reason. And so when you talk about pushing past the pain, that's how you push it. Push past it. You give it sound.
You talk about it.
You give your pain sound. You know, the crazy thing about it is I'm a firm believer in a law of displacement. So when it comes down to the pain that was inflicted on me, how I had to get past it was I had to displace that pain with something.
Yeah.
With something that was bigger than it.
Right.
And for me, that was purpose.
Yes.
It sounds corny. You know, it sounds clear. Oh, push past your pain and get your purpose. No. Push past your pain and find your purpose.
Right.
Yes.
Because your purpose is the only thing that gives you something greater that's going to not just block out the pain, but that's going to start the healing process for real.
True.
So for me, that purpose initially, when I was in that situation, was my children, right? And so what I learned after I divorced, it was, their dad that I was married to almost 10 years. And when I learned in that divorce, I got in a relationship maybe like a year later, and it was almost worse.
Wow.
I won't say almost. It was worse. It was worse. What I learned is that if you don't unpack that stuff,
You got to unpack it.
you got to research why when you hear a song it makes you feel this way.
Yes.
You got to understand why when you drive on this street it makes you nervous.
Yeah.
Don't
Right.
just accept that stuff as, oh, that's the way I am. When I see this picture, when I hear this song, I feel nauseous. No, why?
Why?
Sit in that. Feel
Sit
that.
in it.
Sit there, dwell there, deal with that
Feel the feels.
until one day when the song come on, you cool, you and copacetic. Like one day when it doesn't have a hold over you.
That is the thing.
That's
That's
it.
it. And that's what happened to me 48 hours ago when I was reading down
See
and
what I'm
looking
saying?
at all of that stuff that you trying to throw back. That usually I would tremble in my boots because oh my God, somebody's gonna find out. Oh my God, no.
Nope.
I don't live there no more.
Free from it.
It don't bother me no more. Let me tell you something, baby. Can't nobody talk about Cortney like Cortney.
Baby, hey, listen.
You understand me?
Oh, do I overstand you?
Can't nobody.
I overstand you.
Can't nobody make me feel bad like I used to make myself feel
Girl,
bad.
listen.
So now the reason why I talk about it, the reason why I speak up is because I don't care nothing about what y'all think about me.
Absolutely not.
I don't care nothing about what nobody think about me. Baby, I'm going to speak
Listen.
up because it's somebody out there who's silently struggling.
That's right. That's right.
And my purpose, which I finally, thank you, Jesus,
Thank you,
I finally made it to that place of purpose where, and I told somebody just the other day, I said, you know what, if I died today, I'm fulfilled.
Oh,
Because
come on.
I feel like,
That's the key.
and that's how you know when you get to purpose.
That's the key.
When you get to purpose, you feel this sense of fulfillment and you say, God, I'm here. This is what you want me to do.
That's it.
And if I drop dead today, I feel like I've accomplished something because I'm going in the way that you wanted me to go. And I finally feel like I've tapped into a piece of your will for my life. And so I'm good. And I no longer focus on what people think about me, what they say about me. I love the Lord with all of my heart. But I tell people all the time, baby, ain't no such thing as no perfect saint. I'm not perfect.
Absolutely not. Just like what they used to say, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future.
Honey, listen.
It's the truth, though.
Because I'm not perfect.
Not
I
at
am
all.
not perfect. But it's just those things from your past, like I said, and when I was faced with that just having that moment of growth to be like, wow, God, where this used to, I would have lost my mind. I would have doubted myself. I would have went back into my shell and said, I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy. I'm not.
Yes.
Honey, I looked at that mess. I said, you devil, you a liar. I don't care nothing about it. Well, I can't tell y'all everything.
Right. Little filter.
little filter. But, just being at that place to where you finally, you've just conquered, knowing who you are.
That's it. That's truly what it is. And that's why I would encourage anybody. Ooh, I might hurt some feelings right here.
Hurt them.
Baby, stop being so gung-ho about being married.
Hurt them. Because I'm here to tell you right now, again, and I know this was episode 4, but we're going to bring it over into episode 5.
Okay.
I got married for the wrong. I had no business getting married.
And you don't know yourself
who
yet.
I was.
And the Bible tells you that a woman's job is to adapt to her husband. That means if you don't know yourself, you are conforming yourself to an individual who may or may not know themselves.
Child.
So not a blind,
I was
leading
just
a
out there
blind,
in a hot
and
mess,
all of y'all
honey.
falling in the marital
I was
ditch.
out there in a hot mess.
You understand what I'm saying?
You got to know who you are.
I mean, if you try to be a wife in a biblical sense, you're submitting to his vision.
Yeah.
He ain't got one yet though, and neither do you. So what y'all doing?
So what you doing? Just out here, just
out here,
just
having
winging
legal
it.
sex
Yeah.
and creating debt, and that's about it.
That's it. That's it. So, I stress to know who you are,
Before.
pray, get guidance, seek, ask God for wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, like I said in the last episode, we just be out here picking folks. That ain't who God intended for us. You just be out here picking somebody,
Right.
Like,
right.
oh, pick me,
Right.
and been messed around and got yourself in a disaster.
Listen.
I got a 2-part question for y'all.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Piggyback on what you were saying about the trauma that you went through, and the first, solid, or I'd say real relationship that you had, being as traumatic as it was, did it make it difficult to, one, get past that point and know what was actually the right feeling that you were supposed to have in your relationship? As in, like, okay, since this is better than that, then it must be the right thing.
Right.
Rather than, no, there's an actual standard that I'm supposed to have from my past that is completely a whole 360 that I'm supposed to have. What does that look like for you, looking back at that, and then to who you are now? How do you think about that, and what would you tell somebody to look at when it comes to that point?
Right. That is an amazing question.
That's my
and
boy
I'm
right
learning.
there. That's my boy.
The crazy thing about it is I'm learning the answer every day. I'm still learning the answer, because I will say this, even after, so I talked about the teenage encounters with domestic violence. I talked about the marital, emotional traumas of the insecurities from the infidelity and just being made to feel not enough. And every time we got in an argument, I was called black and ugly. And that
See what I mean?
went back to what I went through with the colorism.
Right.
See?
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So now layered insecurity. But I can't pass that on to my babies, because at this
Right.
time I got 2, and my daughter is the most beautiful shade of black.
She is so beautiful.
You understand me? But I have to build up her confidence. I can't even do that if mine is beat down.
Yes.
Right.
So now here's the thing. To your question, as far as the displacement and discerning is what it really boils down to, right? I didn't do that because I got out of the marriage and I got into another relationship that felt right, because we felt like friends. We
Right.
traveled, we moved, we da-da-da-da-da-da, all that good stuff. But then when the red flag hit me, which this red flag was in a different form. This red flag came in the form of, the baby mama that, and he always gonna be. And then, you know what, sis? I didn't realize you were right. He did always.
Right.
He wasn't never. I didn't look at the inconsistencies of the promises versus delivery. I was blinded by potential.
Oh, potential.
That's what that P should have stood for. No, I'm joking. Push it past potential.
Past potential.
Baby, don't talk about it. Be about it.
Don't
Right.
fall for
I didn't
potential,
look at no
y'all.
evidence. You
Yeah.
talked a good game. So, no, you didn't call me names like he did.
Right.
No, you didn't. Well, eventually, yes, you put your hands on me, and that became a thing. But I didn't realize that now, you're doing the same cheating and stuff. You're just better at not getting caught. And so now, all these accusations, I'm like, why is he accusing me of cheating all the time? Why? I'm not doing anything. And so now I'm over-inspecting myself and saying, okay, well, I'm not going to dress like this. I'm not going to talk to this person. I'm not going to have these friends. I'm going to cut these people off that I absolutely have had no wrong dealings with, but because it makes him feel better.
Yeah.
I'm doing all of this.
All
And
of that.
what I didn't realize was I wasn't doing anything wrong. He was projecting onto me
Yes.
what he was doing.
Right.
That's exactly what happened to me and it's like all of these things that you dishing out. But again, way back then it affected me.
Yes.
But now that once you dealt with narcissism,
oh my God.
you can spot it from 10 miles
10
off.
miles off.
So all of this
Yes.
stuff that you projected onto me, baby, that's really how you feel about yourself.
About yourself.
That's really how you feel about it's really what you're doing.
It's
and I
dangerous.
said that. I was vocal.
Yeah.
I said, don't do that.
Right.
That's you.
I see that delusion. I see that.
That's you.
Call it out, Court.
Child, you want me to want
Yes.
you so bad.
Yes.
Because you want me.
That's it, baby.
But I'm not there no
okay.
more.
Oh, I love it. Oh, my God.
You
Listen.
really want me, boo.
Let me tell y'all this. Can I share a story?
Please
Can I
do.
share a story? I'm answering your question. I
No,
promise.
no,
In this
good.
story,
You're
I'm
good.
answering your question.
You're good.
So, my breaking point from the last situation. Now, I'm married now. I've been married going on 2 years.
Shout out to my brother.
Okay, Gabriel Tyus, keep pushing promotions. I love you.
Period.
So, my husband now came after this relationship.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much I deflected onto him
Right.
from this?
God.
Right.
This
Right.
man had to deal with it
Yeah.
in the worst way.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. He's
Yeah.
gonna record this.
Mhm.
But it's the truth. He dealt with it in the worst way. But the difference between him and everybody else, we all have a little bit of narcissism in us.
Yeah.
In an element.
Yes.
But the emotional maturity is what sets the difference.
Right.
The Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Ha ha
Go.
ha.
Mm.
Is what makes the difference.
Mm.
So you're talking about somebody who know Jesus for real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I can speak to his convictions.
Mhm.
If that spirit tries to rear up.
Right.
But the other ones are unbridled.
Yes.
That's the difference.
There
when
it
you
is.
notice his conviction, can I truly go to the altar with this man
Mhm.
Right.
and we say, you know what, we were wrong. Let's get it right.
Yes.
Can
Yeah.
I truly, will you acknowledge, maybe not in the heat of the moment, but when the smoke clears, can you take accountability for
Can
your
you
actions?
take accountability?
Mhm.
And so I see then this is different. But not only is this this is not just different, this is the difference.
Right.
Right.
This is what matters. This is the game changer right here.
Yeah.
Because if I sat around and said, after this, I'm gonna close my heart off and I'm gonna just wait on a perfect person. I'm gonna wait till I'm healed from all of that kind of
Right.
stuff. The truth of testing whether or not you're healed comes from when you were put in the position.
Right.
So how
Listen.
can I know if I'm never in another relationship?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I need deliverance
Yeah.
from at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that kind of, but the story I was going to tell y'all, I'm going to say it quick, y'all, because this is some crazy stuff.
Mm.
This is some crazy stuff. So the relationship that I was in after the marriage,
Mhm.
right? Oh my God. This dude cheated on me pretty much the entire time with the baby mama, because that's why she's always on the subliminals with Facebook, this, that, and other. We got mutual friends in a small city of Augusta, Georgia. So everybody knows it but
Right.
me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm standing by my man and,
Mhm.
I'm chalking
That's
it
my
up
man.
to her.
I'm going to stick beside him.
Right. She just bitter. She
Mhm.
just want my life.
Right.
And because she acted out so childishly,
Yeah.
it seems like, but in all actuality, when the smoke cleared and I was ready to move on with my life, by that time, he had gotten caught. I mean, caught.
Mhm.
And God literally stripped him of his job, his
Man.
house,
Mm.
his car, like in the same week.
Wow.
I went back home to be with my mom. I'm talking about it was ugly. Anything and everything he did, he took it to social media.
Man.
It was just a lot,
Mhm.
okay? And I
Yeah.
wasn't used to that. I was an old man. He didn't even have no Facebook.
Right.
I wasn't used to that.
Right.
So, married to an old man. Anyway, but at the tail end of everything, one day he sages like this meetup
Mhm.
with a person that was like very respected in his family. And at this point, I know the narcissistic circle. Like, I know how the abuse circle works. He doesn't get his way. There's a tantrum.
Yeah.
We call the police. At this time, I have called the police on him 6 times in like a 30-day period.
Wow. That's crazy.
To the point where the police knew.
I already knew what was up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was bad. And so we're at this situation. Now I'm getting wise. And now I'm saying, you know what? We're having a meetup. The meetup didn't go his way. He's trying to get me to admit to basically cheating with someone that I didn't cheat
Outta
with. So
here, man.
it was just all of this. The hour grew late, and he needed a ride home. I told his family member, I said, I'm not bringing him home because I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to get in my car. It's going to turn into drama.
Right.
I'm going to have to call the police, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed, but I'm going to show you how the Holy Ghost intervened. The baby mama had dropped him off, so she knew where he was. She shows up 5 o'clock that morning, breaking all HE double hockey sticks. But this time when she came, she got the receipts.
Wow.
She has when he wasn't here, when he told you he was going this place, we were together. Here's the pictures. When he told you he was there, here's the picture. I mean, she had it laid out for me to the point where I couldn't even say she
nothing.
lied.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that was God giving me the peace that I needed
Right.
to close the door
And move on.
So
Push past it.
let me tell you what happened, though. Let me tell you what happened. That's how when you say push past it, that was my determining move right there.
Yeah.
But I got a call from a friend that the next day really the same morning, because this lingered over till 5 o'clock in the morning. And it was a male friend. He asked me out to brunch for bottomless mimosas. Now, y'all, I was saved, but I had been through some stuff, so I went. And I went to the bottom. Okay,
girl, not the bottom.
No, I went to the bottom
Not
on the
bikini
mimosas.
bottom.
Yes, I did. And I went to an empowerment event afterwards. And so the friend called, and they were like, you should come by, and we just, chill out. I know you've been through a lot. He didn't know what was going on, but social media. Because my guy at the time was putting everything on there. So it's like, you come over, chill. But, of course, I done had all these mimosas. I done been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. What happens?
Right.
I fall asleep.
Yeah.
I fell asleep, y'all. I fell asleep in my clothes. This man was a gentleman. He did not touch me.
Wow.
He gave me an oversized shirt so I could be covered to sleep in. Do you not know what happened? Because we're in the smallest city of Augusta, Georgia. My then ex, as of that morning, right, followed me, found my car. When the guy who I was leaving, because it was a Sunday morning, I was getting ready to go to church, leaving his establishment or where he lived, and he was being a gentleman and pulling my car around because I had on the big shirt.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have to walk in the street in that. When he did that, he left the door unlocked. My ex walked through the door of this man's house, came to me, and went live on Facebook.
Wow.
So how does this look for those of the people who don't know?
The people who don't know man
of what just transpired 5 o'clock the previous morning, to them it looks like I'm cheating on him.
Right.
You can't now if you really dissect in the video, you can see the bed that I was sleeping in
of course.
was made on one side still, and one side was like one person had slept in it.
Right.
You can see all of that. But I had to sit there while this man was live on social media and not.
Yeah.
I didn't even care.
Yeah.
You know how that made me feel deep down on the inside?
Yeah. Listen.
But then I realized in that moment, God, you delivered me.
Yeah.
Because I don't even care no more
at all.
Like, I'm crying out tears of sadness, but joy. I was freed from the opinions and criticisms of what people thought about me. I was freed from the church girl standard. I was freed from the violence, from what you say. And what I learned in that is that, because it didn't go viral. He wanted it to. He wanted it to be a shade room so bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the people that knew him, he had showed his character so much, so they didn't even feed into it. And what I realized, my character preceded me. My character.
Period.
Nobody was willing to share it because they're not finna do that to her because they know at her core she a good person.
She a good
person.
person.
It must be a reason.
See what I'm saying? Every time.
So when Cortney talk about pushing past something, I could push past because I had to walk past Negroes who I thought was my friends and was talking about this mess. I had to walk past Negroes who I thought had my back and then started having reasonable doubt. But then I found out that there were people that I never met a day in my life that was going toe-to-toe for me. Toe-to-toe for me.
Right.
Toe-to-toe for me. And God loved me enough to show me a person in the form of my husband now who didn't care about none of that.
Yeah.
Knew about it all, saw it all, came in my life where this man was still blowing my phone up 100 times, blocked.
Wow.
Because he didn't want to see me happy.
Yeah.
Still making fake Facebook pages and commenting on my videos.
Child.
For what?
Child.
Push past it. I am living pushing past it.
Yes.
Living it. I'm an example. I am a testament of what God will allow to happen when you say, and that's how I birthed SamSays, because I came on controlling my own narrative. It wasn't, and you know what I didn't do? I didn't even address it. Wow. That's what people love the most about my live videos. I never addressed it. I think today might probably be the first day that I really talked about it on like a broadcast form. I didn't have no energy to give to it. I kept declaring and decreeing the goodness of God. Yes. All of a sudden, the pandemic hit. What happened after that? I applied for a job in Atlanta. It's called store manager. I get the job, find out I'm over multiple stores. I'm really an area manager. Right. So it's like I gave myself a promotion.
See what God do?
He made me a homeowner. Right. He gave me another child that was prophesied to me while I was with old boy.
That's my Tootie.
But God, okay, you might already shout out to her. But This was prophesied to me when I was with old boy, and everybody was like, "Oh, she finna have another baby. She finna have another baby." The grace of God kept me from having this man baby.
Sure enough.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, God.
I know his baby. I know one of his baby mamas. He kept her child from her for almost a year.
Oh, I would have been in jail or hell.
Almost a year. She couldn't do nothing because of Georgia laws. It was so warped and things. She finally went through the courts and got that child back. Do you know the type of hell God spared me from?
Wow.
From my own stupidity, my own lasciviousness, my own lust, putting myself in these positions, giving myself to people who weren't worthy of me.
Wasn't worthy. And that you said the pivotal thing, and that's the cap of it. How do you push past? God.
Period.
God.
His grace.
He shows you. When you're in something awful, in the midst of the emotional trauma, in the midst of the physical abuse, in the midst of any bad thing, God is dropping things along. Those red flags, like I said, they're always there.
They're always there.
And God is always giving you a way out. Now, will you take it?
Will you take it? Will you take it?
Will you take it? And once you take it, your life starts to unfold. Like, I'm literally listening to you give your testimony. Totally different situation, but the same same concept.
Right. Yeah.
When I took the out.
Yes.
When I finally took the out, my life started blossoming in a way that you just could not even imagine.
Yes.
How do you push past? God. Watch the red flags. Stop ignoring them. Stop being blind. Take off the blind. Ask God, because I couldn't take off the blinders myself. Right. So I had to ask God to remove the blinders.
Right.
Ask God to remove the blinders. Look at the red flags. Take the out. Yes. And then once you get out, you got it. You have to deal with some stuff, because with emotional trauma, there comes emotional scars, and you will carry that over into your next. So you have to be very mindful, and you have to be very prayerful to say, God, heal me.
Yes.
Heal me. Because what you don't want to do is become your abuser. Right. And it will happen.
It will happen.
It will happen. I found myself doing things that was done to me.
Yes. Saying the things that they said.
Saying the things that they said.
And you realize the power of a word as a seed. It got planted.
It was planted.
But guess what? God can uproot it.
Rooted it up.
Oh, my God.
And so you can push past it. You can get past the past. You are not who you were back then.
Nope.
So when that devil comes in the form of that text message, like I just told y'all I got the other night. See, I'm a transparent person. Yeah. I keep it all the way real.
Yep.
When it comes in that text message and it says, oh, you this. No, I don't live there no more.
Nope.
And I'm not going to let anybody take anything. I hope you listening right now. Satan, I'm not going to let anything from back there stop me from getting to where God is taking me.
Come on.
Because I'm on the path now, baby. And I cannot be stopped.
Let me tell you, not only can you not be stopped, but you got an army behind you.
Listen, I got a squad behind me.
You got a whole squad.
I got a squad.
And guess what? We Pete and them cousins.
Listen. All of that. But the point I'm trying to make, though, y'all, again, is you can get past it. Don't let anybody, whether it's a person, a family member, a friend, an ex, or whatever.
Yes.
Don't let nobody come and take things from way back when to try to speak to those insecurities that you harbored. You know, we pushing past it, y'all. We pushing past the pain. We pushing past the past. We're pushing into purpose.
That's right.
Right? So, look, y'all, it has been this was dope. Like, this is really
yes,
dope.
It is.
Thank y'all so much for coming. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all tell everybody how they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Facebook. I am Samantha Danielle, SamSays Tyus. And on Instagram, I am Samantha Danielle _SamSays. And I'm also on YouTube as SamSays Motivations. And Cortney, thank you so much. This has been nothing but refreshing. I love it. Vlad, it's an honor to have met you and share the platform.
I'm happy I met you. Y'all can find me on Instagram, Vlad on the Mix. And that's it. That's it for me.
Come on here, Vlad on the Mix. Look, y'all make sure y'all follow my people. And if you're not already following me, you can find me on IG at Coffee with Court. Y'all know I don't have a U in my name, so it's Coffee with CORT. You can find me on TikTok at Coffee with Cortney. Again, Cortney without a U, so that's CORTNEY. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and thank you guys again for coming. I love y'all so much. Y'all, we're going to see y'all next time. Bye.